Okay, today we're going to do Chapter 15, Section 1. Chapter 15 is Darwin's Theory of Evolution. Section 15 is the puzzle of life's diversity. Evolution is the process by which modern organisms have descended from ancient organisms. A scientific theory is a well-supported, testable explanation of phenomena that have occurred in the natural world. Voyage of the Beagle. In 1831, Darwin set sail from England aboard the HMS Beagle for a voyage around the world. Darwin went ashore and collected plant and animal specimens for his collection. He studied the specimens, read the latest scientific books, and filled many textbooks with his observations and thoughts. Okay, you can see from this puzzle right here, Darwin started the HMS Beagle. Started here in the Pacific Ocean, cruised around New Zealand, Australia, around Australia, up into the Indian Ocean, around the Cape of Good Hope, around Africa. You can see he made 2 or 3 trips up and down this coast here, okay? And then finally he circled around the world here and at the Galapagos Islands, okay? So you can see his track. Key concept. What was Charles Darwin's contribution to science? Contribution to science. Charles Darwin. During his travels, Darwin made numerous observations and collected evidence that led him to propose a hypothesis about the way life changes over time. That hypothesis has become the theory of evolution. Darwin's observations. Darwin observed that many plants and animals were well suited to the environments they inhabited. He was impressed by the ways in which organisms survived and produced offspring. Darwin was puzzled by where the species lived and did not live. Grasslands in some regions were similar to one another, but were inhabited by very different animals. Living organisms and fossils. Darwin collected the preserved remains of ancient organisms called fossils. Some of those fossils resembled organisms that were still alive. Others looked completely unlike any creature he had ever seen. The Galapagos Islands. Darwin observed that the Galapagos Islands were close together but had very different climates. Key concept number 2. What pattern did Darwin observe among organisms of the Galapagos Islands? Darwin observed that the characteristics of many animals and plants varied noticeably among the different islands of the Galapagos. Darwin wondered if animals living on different islands had once been members of the same species. These separate species would have evolved from an original South American ancestor species. Okay, so you see it's a short section. Section quiz. Darwin's observations in the Galapagos Islands included all of the following except A. Characteristics of many organisms did not vary among the different Galapagos Islands. What did Darwin learn about the tortoise of the Galapagos Islands? The shape of the Galapagos tortoise shells varied with their different habitats. According to Darwin's proposed theory of evolution, species of organisms A. Change over time. Darwin hypothesized that different-looking mockingbirds from different islands might be descendants of birds that belong to a single species from the South American mainland. What role did the evidence gathered by Darwin play in developing his ideas? It led to considering the possibility of evolution only after he was heading home. That's the end of the section.